Welcome back to the Peepo Coin channel, XRP holders. As always, thank you, but let's not spend any more time and examine the current state of XRP's pricing and, of course, what we may anticipate on Monday morning. We have Monday morning in front of us to speak of it. The market is improving, Everything is going okay so far. As you can see, Bitcoin is now looking fantastic and the altcoin market is responding favorably to this development. In contrast, the price of XRP is currently at $2.13 and it has increased 3.1% in USD. Although dominance is still rather high, there has been a slight decline in the BTC comparative side of things. We've lost roughly 0.2%. The 24-hour trading volume is $2 billion and the market capitalization is $124.4 billion. But first, as always, a brief disclaimer before we continue. This channel does not offer financial advice. Always conduct your own research and due diligence before making a cryptocurrency investment. For the first time in history, gold officially surpasses 3,400 ounces per ounce. Gold is ripping, Gold is going crazy, What's actually happening? Who is purchasing gold at record prices at the moment? Why is gold going insane, Will there be no rate reductions? Will there actually be inflation this year? Not inflation, I'm afraid. Will we actually have a recession this year? Or will there be an official announcement? It goes without saying that experts have significantly raised the likelihood of a recession since the announcement of tariffs. What do you personally think about that then, down below? Tell me in the comments section below. Going on, have a look at this, you understand. In less than a day, Coinbase's XRP derivatives launch will be live. Now let's get started. And going forward, I truly wanted to talk to you guys about this. According to cryptocurrency lawyer John Deaton, XRP will overtake Ethereum this year. And this video essentially goes into detail about how XRP has the potential to transform how businesses handle their daily finances. Of course, this includes sending money abroad, making instant cross-border payments, real-world assets, and a host of other things. In regards to Ethereum, I have stated this from the start on my channel on Ethereum. I'm not against Ethereum at all. It was among the first currencies I bought when I first entered the cryptocurrency market in 2016. Although I have nothing against Ethereum, it isn't as useful as it once was when you consider its usefulness from a practical perspective, regardless of institutional, retail, or even developer interest. Because people have come to the realization that there are alternative, more competitive, Layer 1 and Layer 2 companies that are more advantageous to work with. As a result, you can see that companies like Solana are significantly outperforming Ethereum. Naturally, since ETH has been there for a while, the DeFi sector is not at the same level as it. It has the advantage of being the first to market, but it also has advantages like more people, better foundations, and a higher probability. Flippening is undoubtedly present at this moment. However, John states in this particular update that, as you are aware, you did witness regulatory clarity being introduced into the crypto market in particular. You are aware of how Bitcoin works and that all of these other assets are gradually declining if you had that regulatory advantage. However, I completely agree with you if they didn't live up to the hype. Even when it comes to ETFs, the influence isn't at the degree you would anticipate when looking at the ETF itself. If XRP were to receive that ETF certification, I believe it would surpass Ethereum based only on the current demand for it. Furthermore, I firmly think that XRP has the potential to replace EAT. I completely agree with what John has to say here, but please share your personal opinions in the comments section below. And yes, have a look at this. Jake deserves a shout out for stating that the entire financial stack is the target of Ripple. They had goals beyond processing payments. They desired the entire system. Years later, it's becoming evident that this was never about luck and that the long game is beginning to pay off. It was a plan from the beginning. Additionally, I would like to delve a little deeper into this particular perspective. Take a look at what they accomplished with Hidden Capital, where they bought that business. What are they doing? Why would they be doing this if they weren't sincere? They intend to be the industry leader in blockchain technology and take the financial market by storm. And I believe they're demonstrating that, in terms of cryptocurrency, real-world assets and stablecoin, you could essentially check every box. They simply have everything. And that's where the true thrill is, and I can't believe it. On what they have endured, how they have remained, how they continue to innovate, and how they still aspire to be at the top. Furthermore, you simply cannot say that they are unable to reach the top, given the current state of affairs. Going forward, consider this. Around 700,000 Bitcoin are currently held by your public firms, with MicroStrategy, of course, controlling 77% of the total. Indeed, a significant portion of MicroStrategy's revenue comes from Michael Saylor's frequent Bitcoin purchases, but I believe that larger players and other businesses that are currently unknown will start to emerge. Since Bitcoin is an asset class that many businesses and governments throughout the world are interested in, and because it is getting harder to find, I believe they will begin to include it on their balance sheets. Demand is unquestionably greater than supply, and I believe that in the upcoming years people will begin to realize how much demand there is for Bitcoin and how it just cannot keep up with the existing supply. Last but not least, banks and Ripple collaborate to create a quick substitute with blockchain technology as the world's money movement enters a new phase. The XRP ledger will handle trillions of dollars. Let us examine the current state of domination. The domination has continued soaring, reaching 64.12%, essentially eliminating the significant retracement we seen yesterday. Thus, once more, there was a significant upward movement in Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is looking fantastic. It will receive $87,500. As I mentioned before, it's crucial to maintain some of the levels that we haven't seen since the beginning of the month. Holding at this level, Bitcoin might drop below 86.5 if there is even a slight pullback. Even if that were to occur, I believe it would still look fantastic. However, I believe that a 90K Bitcoin could be possible in the coming days if you can see it break out of this area. Let's give XRP a live update if you're currently examining it. Naturally, it's back in the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level. Let's now provide the chart for XRP. You can see for yourself that we are ranging, and we woke up to $2.14 from this $2.13. A considerable amount of resistance still stands in its way, as you can see for yourself. As I mentioned to you all in the previous updates, the 220 is still the target. But yes, I like what I'm seeing here. One step at a time. Later, I'll see you. Obviously, you can't ignore the fact that you still have a significant amount of supremacy at the moment and that it tends to affect altcoins, but you need to consider the wider picture.